Before sunrise, April 18th, 1906, San Francisco slumbered beneath a blanket of drifting fog. The city was alive with dreams, the quiet only broken by the distant clatter of horse-drawn carriages and the occasional barking dog. But deep underneath this fragile calm, something monstrous stirred, a primal energy building in the darkness. At 5:12 a.m., it erupted, shattering the peaceful silence and plunging San Francisco into a waking nightmare that would leave permanent scars on both the land and its people. Witnesses later recalled a low, unearthly growl sweeping through the ground, rising to a deafening roar. In bedrooms and boarding houses, people were thrown from their beds as the world lurched violently side to side. Oil lamps crashed to the floor, igniting curtains and setting the night aglow with licking flames. Entire buildings convulsed and groaned as timbers snapped and bricks rained down. The force was merciless. Cracks zigzagged through streets like lightning bolts, splitting asphalt, swallowing anything unfortunate enough to stand in their path. In some places, fences, trees, even sections of the city itself shifted 20 feet from where they had stood seconds before. For almost a full minute, the earth undulated like a stormy ocean. And as the rumbling subsided, the true horror began. With dawn's light came terrible clarity. Streets, once bustling with life, now teetered on the edge of ruin. Whole neighborhoods were nothing but piles of rubble. Proud Victorian homes snapped in two, their ornate facades now heaps of splinters. Enormous stone buildings, hotels, warehouses, brick storefronts, collapsed inward, their interiors exposed like open wounds. Jagged chasms split roadways down the middle. Trolley tracks twisted and arched like serpents. Debris blocked every path, while clouds of dust hung thick in the air, blotting out the sun. Survivors, coated in gray ash, staggered through the chaos. Some wept in disbelief, clutching at wounds or calling for missing loved ones. Others wandered, dazed, unable to fathom the scale of the destruction around them. Then, the next horror struck. The city's ruptured gas mains and fallen lamps sparked dozens of fires. Flames leapt from building to building, turning twisted wood and shattered furniture into fuel. With water pipes ruptured by the quake, firefighters found themselves helpless, their hoses limp and useless. The fires were relentless. For 3 nights and days, a hellish inferno devoured San Francisco. The city, already battered, now faced complete annihilation. Witnesses described flames so bright they turned night into day, and smoke so thick it blotted out the morning sun. People fled by the thousands, carrying whatever precious belongings they could rescue. Photos, family heirlooms, a single prized book, while behind them, everything else vanished into ash. Eyewitness accounts from that day linger with chilling detail. Some spoke of hearing the earth groan as it split. Others told of entire families swallowed by collapsing rooms. One survivor described losing track of her mother in the chaos, frantically searching the maze of rubble and fire. Her anguished cries later echoed by thousands more. City Hall, once the pride of San Francisco, stood gutted and broken, its massive dome cracked, the elegant halls filled with rubble. In the famous Palace Hotel, guests leapt from windows to escape the smoke and flames, their silhouettes lost in the haze. Hospitals overflowed with the injured. In makeshift clinics set up in the parks, doctors operated by lantern light, the air filled with moans and the acrid stench of burning flesh. All around, people formed human chains, digging for survivors or passing buckets. Though more often than not, their desperate efforts were no match for the destruction. By the time the last flames died, San Francisco was a ghost city. 3,000 lives lost, thousands more maimed. For the survivors, there was no home to return to. More than 250,000 men, women, and children, the vast majority of the city, became overnight refugees. Huddled beneath makeshift tents in public parks, Golden Gate Park and the Presidio, they survived on emergency rations, haunted by the sounds of collapse and the glow of dying fires. Families clung together in the cold, their faces streaked with ash and silent tears. "We have nothing left," one child whispered, staring into the ruins. "Not even the street we lived on." Across 500 city blocks, the devastation was absolute. Houses reduced to foundations, landmarks erased. The skyline, once filled with spires and domes, was now cracked and jagged. The stench of smoke and decay lingered for weeks. At night, the eerie glow of embers flickered across entire neighborhoods, while stray dogs scrounged through the rubble and crows circled overhead. Yet in the midst of this tragedy, the spirit of San Francisco began to stir. Strangers became allies, sharing scraps of food, bandaging wounds, searching for the missing. Donations and volunteers rushed in from across the country, offering what aid they could. Engineers and architects walked the devastated streets, taking notes, determined that the scars of 1906 would change how cities were built. But the memory of that night, the yawning cracks, the collapse, the flames, never fully left those who lived through it. For decades, even a distant earthquake could fill survivors with terror, while children grew up hearing whispered tales from their elders about the day the earth tried to swallow San Francisco whole. Today, as trolleys rattle down bustling Market Street and tourists gaze out from atop hilly neighborhoods, it's hard to imagine the desolation that once lay here. But beneath the city's vibrant life, the bones of the past remain, and every so often, a tremor serves as a somber reminder. The city lives with the memory of that dark dawn, of unstoppable forces unleashed and the ghosts of hope rising from the ashes. The 1906 earthquake was more than a natural disaster. It was a moment that changed the heart of San Francisco forever. A tragedy wrapped in smoke and ruin, yet also a testament to resilience rising from devastation.